Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Solar System, where we help you understand the system your soul goes into. And today we're going to be talking about the astrological house system and the clock correlated to the different times of the day and 3 ways that you can use it to your benefit. Now, before we actually get into these 3 different ways, you have to understand when these times of the day are. So starting out, first house time of the day is between 6 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 12, so on and so forth. It's just 2-hour gaps between the day, starting between 6 to 8. This is actually how they calculate your ascendant sign, as well as all your houses in your natal chart throughout that. We're going to put up the little chart right here to show you when these times of the day are. You can screenshot the video. You can also follow us on Instagram and actually check out our little digital thing on there. And then once you actually see and understand and you know the times, then you can start adding in the next layer, which is basically calculating which sign and which constellation is angling through that space of the day based off where the sun is. So for instance, if the sun is in Aries, then the first house would be in Aries. Now, if the sun is in Taurus, then the first house time of the day, aka 6 to 8 a.m., would be in Taurus. And then you could follow it through there, going on, so on and so forth. So if it's in Gemini, then the second house time of the day would be in Cancer, the third house time of the day would be in Leo, and the fourth house time of the day would be in Virgo. All right, guys. Now, the first way you can use and understand this house clock system is that understanding when your sun sign is placed in what time of the day can help you a lot in terms of expressing yourself and being able to think clearly. Now, when I say think clearly, it's more or less what the sun kind of does for you, which is where and what area of life you actually shine your light on and where you basically are focusing your energy. So it'll be a lot easier for you and go a lot smoother if you know what time of the day that is, because sometimes you may have your your sign smack dab in the middle at the ass crack of dawn, or right up in the middle of the night. Who knows when it is? But if it's early in the morning and you need to wake up at that time, you may get your best ideas during the day. So for instance, if you are a sun in Aries and it is Aries season, wake up at the ass crack of dawn right around 6 a.m. and figure out what you want to do that day. That's going to be the best time of the day for you to figure out what you want to do, plan out your schedule, plan out what you want to do, and really envision how that you want that day to go. Now, it can also help you by telling you what times are not beneficial. So for instance, if you're experiencing life during the time of day where it's about 4 signs away, you're going to know that that's a square. So you're going to know that during that time you may be experiencing a small little learning experience. So just pay attention to what you got going on, what time of the day it is, and it can really help you if you want the energy to go smoothly and in your favor. Boom! Now, the next way you may be able to use the astrological house system throughout the day is by understanding where the planets are and how you can use them during the day. So, for instance, if you are trying to sell someone or trying to convince someone of something right during the day where Saturn is at, for instance, right now Saturn's in Aquarius. So if it's, and we're also just turning into Gemini. So if the first house is in Gemini, you go about 5 signs back. Late in the evening, it's not a really good time to start convincing people of anything, because if you're experiencing it, and it also depends on what their signs are and how it's affecting them, but if you're trying to convince somebody when Saturn is a very, very strong alignment during that hour, don't, because Saturn's not going to want to move, and it's definitely probably shining its energy on the Earth at that time. So that person will probably not want to move, just out of spite and just not wanting to budge. It really just, that energy can be that strong. Another alignment you might want to look out for is basically when Chiron is angling throughout the day. Right now, Chiron has been Aries, and it's been Aries all goddamn year, unfortunately. So if Aries is right about 2 signs back, so around 2 to 4 a.m., you definitely don't want to be up, because you will probably be lamenting on mistakes or whatever at that point in time. You know, Chiron's the wounded healer, and it basically is the asteroid of mistakes. So during that time, you probably don't want to be getting too deep into any type of thought, because that's when, you know, you'll really start reviewing what's going on in life. Now, the third and final way you can use the astrological house system throughout the day is basically just by following what that energy is throughout the day. It may get tweaked a little bit throughout with the sun movement, and it may change, you know, a little bit between what planets are angling it, but more often than not, they are fixed energies. For instance, 6 to 8 is according to the first house, or Aries for that matter. So this is where you create the vision for that time of the day. After that, you have 8 to 10, which is the Taurus or second house time of the day. This is where you start planning it out, figuring out what's valuable to you, figuring out what tools you may need that day, and so on and so forth. You get all the way to Gemini time of the day, which is 10 to 12. So that's when you have your first meetings, start communicating what you want to do, so on and so forth. And then you get all the way up until Cancer around 12 to 2, which is basically where you sit back, you relax, you stay in a space that's comfortable. This is why people have siestas during that time of the day. But yeah, guys, so that's 3 ways you can use the astrological house clock throughout the day to better yourself and better the flow of the energy that is already naturally occurring all day, every day, no matter what you think or do about it. So yeah, might as well ride the wave. Anyway, thanks for following this solar system series on how to use the astrological house system. Peace.